Hi there. I just want to do a talk, and I want to do a talk before I watch my favourite football team. Now, I don't watch television, but I was a fan of Manchester United, the football team, before my awakening. Now I understand that television, even sport, is to distract us from what's going on, but I'm aware of that, you see. And it doesn't mean sport is a bad thing. Lots of people grow as people through sport when they're taking part in it. But, it maybe takes me to the truth that everything outward is to distract you. I was going to put a counterintelligence picture on here before I'd done a talk, but I didn't do it. But that is what everything has to be to control the minds. But what's actually happening is we are going through a global spiritual awakening, where Earth is ascending to planet Gaia. And what is Gaia? Gaia is the mother that mothers all life. If you look around you, you'll always see it. It's in nature, it's all around. It's always like, it's like the homeless man getting a meal in the homeless shelter. It's always mothering. And that is, if I have another female cat or dog, I will call them Gaia. But, I want to move on and talk about mindfulness. Mindfulness is something that I gained through this unexpected spiritual awakening journey. And but what's mindfulness? It's not nothing to do with the mind at all. It's all to do with your senses. It's like your mind is a computer, but when you come to your senses, what you feel, what you can hear, what you can touch, smell, and all that kind of basic senses, this calms the brain right down. And this can help anxiety as well. Because what is anxiety? It's the brain is like a computer, but it's overloaded and it's crashing and you don't know what to do. This can help and cure your anxiety. I used to have a terrible anxiety. I would go running to get rid of it. I would go to the gym just to get rid of anxiety. And I don't feel the need to do anything like that now, because this awakening showed me that I'm perfect just as I am. And that's a beautiful way to look at yourself, even if you're not perfect, because no one actually is perfect, but to choose to look at yourself that way is so empowering. And even to imagine that you're perfect puts you in a mindfulness state. People get anxiety because they are told what to be and what not to be. And the human spirit knows, the divine self is telling you, stop conforming. And this is sending like an overload into the brain, and this is why people get anxious. This is why people get panic attacks. I never used to suffer from panic attacks, but I used to be very anxious, you could say. And I would look externally for something to make me feel better. And there's still little parts of me that does that, but I'm very aware of it. And then what I do is I take myself back to present, and then I'm aware of the emotional problem. And this is how I haven't had depression for nearly 5 years. Because this awakening showed me the way. It showed me to listen to my inner guidance. which most people are scared to go with. You know, like there's so many fake people out there, and so little people use mindfulness and you know, be present and count the things that they're grateful for. Most people have to look at their smartphone all the time, and it's because they're always looking for something better. I've even seen couples in cafes and they're not even talking to each other, they're looking at their phone. I mean, what is this? And yet I bet they tell everyone else that they're in an amazing relationship. I bet you they put that on Facebook. Yet they're never talking to each other. Or very little talking to each other. And this is what I refuse to do. I refuse to get involved in a situation like this. I want to go within me and ascend to the highest possible level so that I can be an inspiration to everyone else that sees me. I want to be more of a parent than most parents. And I can only do that by going within me and being an example. I refuse to be another sleepwalker in society. That by the time the kid's about 6 or 7, buying them a 5G phone, or if you had just had a baby, by the time they're that age, it'll be worse than that. You know, what's happening is, the reason this 5G and smart grids and all this stuff is being put out there is, I believe, a panic. I think it's blatantly obvious that it's a panic because of the fact that people are waking up. The current system knows that it's game over if this awakening gets big enough. Because what does this awakening offer? It offers a lot more than the system can offer you. The only thing the system can offer us is consumerism. Like, you know, humans are just like a bunch of farm animals. And sometimes I get frustrated and I say the word hate, but I don't really hate people. I just get annoyed at the way they're living and know that they could do so much better. And this is why I want to be an example. And that's what the awakening has showed me, as so many other things. And I get new awakenings all the time. When you spiritually awaken, you're accessing what they call the tiny space in the heart, which is the doorway to God. That's what's happening when you do that. And then your breath starts changing, your awareness starts changing, and this is how you direct your breathing properly. Because your feelings dictates everything. And nothing outward is going to save you, because even if that is so, you're going to be, that's you telling yourself that you're not good enough. And this is extremely self-destructive. And so you're not healing at all. So if someone comes along and miraculously heals you, that's not good. Because you're then thinking in your mind that you weren't good enough to heal yourself. This is why in this ascension process we must heal ourselves, and that is the deal. That's what has to happen, so that we become a collective consciousness of a bunch of people knowing that we create our own reality. And then what we become is examples for, if you have children, animals, and the rest of the planet. Everything follows emotion and energy. The system is a demonic entity which manifested from emotions. But I believe it was a conscious decision, because you grow through difficulties. You grow the most through difficulties. And I think this is why you had to have the bad to come back to the good. It's that thing about duality. That doesn't mean I agree with evil, but I understand that you have to have the dark night to have the stars. But the jewel is one, you see. It's all one. And this is, oneness is what you're becoming in awakening. This talk has really been about awakening and mindfulness, but you're becoming one with all. Like lately, I've been feeling these ecstasy emotions in different parts of my body, all through my legs, my arms. And it's because it's to do with this healing. I've been doing this since the age of 24, 32 now. So years of healing, and I've realized that as you're healing within, as you're facing your problems, you're accessing your divinity. And this is why I'm feeling these emotions. I half think that maybe that's why I went into alcohol for a few years. I don't think it was because I'm an alcoholic or into alcohol, because I've never been really. I think maybe it's because that half of me thought that it was the last days that I was going to get alcohol, and I was onto a different path now. So I wanted to get the best of it before it was over, because I'm onto a higher purpose now. And I think the reason that anything happens, if you have someone that you liked from the past, or anything happening in your reality, I think everything happens for a higher purpose, for a higher spiritual purpose. And that purpose is for you to understand that all the love that you look for is within you. And then when you do this and you are one with all, you realize you don't need anything. And then you become an example of love. And then you show other people how to be that example of love as well. And what you give out returns to sender. But you don't do for anything back. You do it because you know it's the right thing to do. See, we all have a knowing within us of what to do. Even though good and evil are made up, I believe they still exist. But lots of things are made up. Everything's made up. And this is where people get confused and they just repeat it. But that doesn't mean that something doesn't exist because it's made up. But the problem comes when people repeat without questioning it. And you should just do that right now. Just take a breath and feel how you feel. This is what I do when I'm on my own. And what I feel is, it might seem strange to people that need someone in their life, but I feel absolute bliss, absolute ecstasy, and I've not needed anything. This is a state that only you can get yourself to. And just as you're breathing, just let it all go. And know that the air that you're taking in is good enough to make you live. It's the miracle of life. And as you're breathing out, know that you're giving life to everything else. It's a bit like climate change. Carbon dioxide, the oxygen. Carbon dioxide is the gas of life. This is why climate change is a joke, because they're making that out to be the enemy, but without it we couldn't exist here. But this is the miracle that you should know that this is the miracle of life. And with this, everything is perfect, and life can be. I'm just going to end it there, and thank you very much for watching. Thank you.